Hello, hello, my crafty friends. It is Candy here from sweetstamper.com, and I am freshly back from my vacation. So I am raring to go and very excited about things to share with you today. I've got to get my notifications turned off while I am sharing with you. So yeah, it's still trying to give me more notifications. Hey, Jackie, thank you for joining me today. I missed stamping with y'all. I had a really good time in Florida. We had just the one day at Disney World because we really went to spend time with family, but we went early enough to where we could spend one day in the parks. And hey, Marlene, thank you for joining us. We only did the Magic Kingdom because we were only going to be there one day and we didn't want to spend time going back and forth between the parks. Hey, Kay, thank you for joining me. So we had just the one day, and I have to say, because when you purchase a Disney World ticket right now, you do have to secure your space. You have to reserve your spot because Disney World is only allowing, I think it's about 35% of park capacity in the park. So in one sense, the experience is really awesome in the sense that the park is so much less crowded. But having said that, the lines for rides were extremely long. Now they moved quickly because of course they had you standing 6 feet apart. And normally, if you've ever been to Disney World, people are crowded in on the lines. And so, the lines move pretty quickly. So even though we only had the one day at the Magic Kingdom, the only ride we didn't get to that we really wanted to go on was Peter Pan. But we had already arranged for my sister-in-law to pick us up. My husband grew up about an hour and a half from Orlando in a small town called Vero Beach. So Helen was coming over to pick us up. We didn't want her coming too late in the day. And also when we booked the tickets, I don't know, probably 8 weeks or so ago, the park was only open until 7 p.m. Hey, Kathy, thank you for joining me. By the time we got there, the park was open till 9, but we didn't know that. So anyway, it was great because Helen picked us up. We went to dinner, but we had one full day at the Magic Kingdom, and it was really lovely. We hadn't been in a while, and we're geeky Disney people, and we're very blessed that with my husband's hometown being so close, my kids grew up going to Disney World a lot. Because we spent 9 years in the UK, and every time we would come home to visit, of course, we would go to Florida to visit my husband's family. We'd come to Texas to visit my family. And when we were in Florida, Granddaddy would typically either go with us to Disney World or send us with tickets in hand. So a lot of family memories with Disney World, some with extended family, some just our nuclear family. So anyway, that is probably enough about Disney World. Hey, Gail, I'm glad you're here. I have been working on Christmas cards for getting my customer Christmas cards out the door today and tomorrow. So be prepared. If you have placed an order with me this year, you're getting a Christmas card with a really nice little coupon in it. So that's my Christmas gift to you. So be on the lookout for that. And then some of you did the, what they call it, the extravaganza, the Merry and Bright extravaganza. Some of you did use your host code for that. So you've got packets that are in the mail for some live stamping on Wednesday. So even if you didn't place an order and get a packet, hey, Terry Lynn, thanks for joining me. Next Wednesday, and I'll post about it here, I am going to be doing Facebook Live in the evening next Wednesday. And a class, so we'll be making 3 projects. It's going to be a lot of fun. Some of you are getting packets in the mail free as a thank you for your order. But even if you didn't get a packet, you can join us here on Facebook Live and just have fun with us. So, okay, let me turn camera down and show you what I'm going to show you today. And we will see one thing at a time. Okay, here we go. Okay, you know what I didn't do? I didn't get my... Oh, I can see it actually on my computer. So let's see what you're seeing so that, oh yeah. Oh yeah, you're seeing pretty good. Okay, hopefully you're not seeing my whole messy desk is back there. Okay, let me bring you down just a wee bit more so you're not staring at my lap. You know, the space here is what I call prime real estate for the camera. So I'd much rather you see more of this and less of my lap or such. Okay, so I wanted to show you, first of all, when I got home, I had this box from Stampin' Up, and I thought I didn't remember placing an order that was going to arrive while I was gone. Well, had some really nice gifts in it, which I will share with you in photos because they're really large. But I did earn a spot in the Global 100. I've been very blessed to earn that every year that they've had it, which this is the 5th year. And it's just the rankings for what we've done with our sales, with our team building, with our recruiting over the past Stampin' Up! Year. And it's global, so that means we compete with one another across international lines. So it is all of our markets, and that includes the South Pacific. It includes Europe, it includes Canada, includes the US. So anyway, it's a really high honor, and I'm so blessed to have earned it. And so this is the pen that they gave us in this beautiful little, of course, the gold, the little gold pizza box, and it was wrapped in some of our in color ribbon. And I have to say, this right here is one of the best parts of it. So this, oh, I forgot to switch the camera around. Everything's gonna be backwards. Okay, I'm gonna have to change that. Okay, here we go. You can see I'm out of practice. Here we go, and I have to pull it up so I can see what I'm doing. Hey, Eileen, thank you for joining me. Let's see if I can figure out, yep. You can tell I'm out of practice because I forgot to come in here when I started and turn everything so that when you're looking at my projects, it's not all backwards. That's really annoying when you have to read everything backwards. But thankfully, I found that out sooner rather than later. And okay, so now let me show you my card that I'm so excited about. So this little mini card is signed by Shelly and Sarah. These are really, I think they're collector's items because Shelly is the co-founder of Stampin' Up. She and her sister began the company over 30 years ago. And Sarah is Shelly's daughter who became the CEO, I think about 5 years ago. So Shelly's still on the board, and Sarah is the CEO. And I'm just, you know, they don't have to do this, but they hand, you know, sign little cards for us, which I think is just amazing. So we got an awesome carry-on bag, little piece of luggage, which I will share with you. It's actually fairly large. It will hold quite a lot. Like I said, I'll show you a picture because it's kind of big to put on camera here. And then they also gave us a gorgeous, it's called couture, minky couture. So you know that minky fabric? It's that, a big, huge blanket in black, and it's got the little Stampin' Up patch sewn into it. Hey, Betty, I'm glad you joined me. And then I got this card, and this is from Chad. Chad Williams is the manager over our district, so our part of the U.S. They have managers that help manage us in kind of somewhat bite-sized pieces. And Chad sent me this card, and inside with Candy, I am so proud of you and your incredible accomplishments this past Stampin' year, achieving number 72 in the Global 100 and number 51 overall in the U.S. is no small feat. Simply put, you are amazing. And he signed it Chad, which I just think these little touches, maybe they would seem small to some people, but I think that the way that Stampin' Up! Spoils us and acknowledges and rewards our accomplishments is really amazing. And so the gifts are awesome, but I think these little touches like this are probably, in my view, they're equally amazing and incredibly valuable to just see those special touches from the corporate office, from the staff, and even from, you know, the CEO. So that is something that I had. waiting for me when I got home, which was really nice. So I wanted to share that with you because you're a part of that. And without y'all, I wouldn't be achieving those things. So I also want to share with you quickly my December cards with a twist. So every month I do a card class with 8 cards, and I feature a single stamp set. And I decided to do Band Together for December. In December, you know, you might be having a lot of Christmas cards. Most of us have made our Christmas cards by now. We could still do a few more, but most of us have done a lot of holiday stamping. And I don't know about you, but I have quite a few friends that have December birthdays and other things that need to be acknowledged in December. But so I want to do it with kind of seasonally appropriate items, but not like Christmas trees, not like Christmas ornaments. So I wanted to use some of the incredibly beautiful, specialty papers from the holiday catalog. So I'm going to show you the 8 cards really quick. The last day to sign up for this class is December the 8th. It's a $35 class. So here is the first set of 2 cards. And you can see that what I do is I've got the white layer in here. So I say they're cards with a twist. This is the same card. And the way I have twisted this one is I've done 2 different sets of the flocked vellum paper, and then this is the designer paper that goes with this class. And of course, then a different color greeting. But they're both, you are amazing. I mean, that's kind of at any occasion, you are amazing. This is kind of the same thing, beautiful inside and out. I love, love, love the way this came out with this cinnamon cider. And so here's my twist for this one is I just simply did them in 2 different orientations, the same card. And this is still part of the same designer series paper. This is the one where you're going to do some coloring in with your blends. And what I've done here, you can see my twist is I've got different color card bases, and I also have different piece of designer series paper. It's just a little peek back there, but I think it helps to break up these really, really bold colors. And to me, this is very much of our season with the red and green, but it's not Christmassy. So that's really the look I was going for. And I could put happy birthday in here. I could put congratulations. I could put happy anniversary, all kinds of things inside here. And then this one is my last twist. So I've done a different color card base and different color leaves. And other than that, these are the same. So with this class, you do get a half a pack of this beautiful Christmas Time is Here designer series paper. You do get the red rhinestones, and you also get a pack of mini glue dots, because you're going to use a lot of these things that I attached here, these little skinny strips. The best thing to attach them with is the mini glue dots. And of course, you do get the 8 envelopes. So let me show you, you do have the opportunity to add on the stamps if you don't already have them, and the dies. And I think the dies are really worth having. These beautiful, really kind of filigree frames are really fun to use. And you do get this oval here, which you can use the oval on its own, or you can layer it, which is what I did here. And so one of the things I try to do with these classes is to help teach you the opportunities, or the design opportunities, I should say, of how you can use the dies in a way that really maximizes the stamp set and the dies. So, and then this one, you see here, this cuts out that little piece. So you can use just the filigree, or you can pop in that little guy. Now you could also, pop in, if I can pick it up, the oval, yikes. You You could pop in the oval as well, but I thought it was fun to use that little piece. And then there's the oval again. You also have this leaf that cuts out the leaves that you stamp. And then this piece here is kind of fun. And I opted to lay my little strip of foil sheet over this instead of under it to give just a little bit less of that cherry cobbler. So, of course, this one is very much the star of them all, that really, really gorgeous die. I didn't use these. And then also this one cuts out the big flower. So that is my Cards with a Twist class for December. You have until the 8th to sign up. Again, it's a $35 class. You do get everything you need for these 8 cards. You get a half a pack of the designer paper, a full pack of the red rhinestones, and some mini glue dots. And that's $35. It includes shipping, which I think is a really good deal. And I try to give you guys a value when I'm doing all of these classes. You have the opportunity to add on the stamp sets, and even, I think I even put on there where you can add on the blends if you don't have those items already. I think I can fit that in there. Let's see. That way it's kind of all in one spot, which helps me. Okay, let's see what we're going to stamp today. Yeah, Crystal, I think they're really awesome dies. I think they have a lot of usefulness. Okay, so today I was showing you this class. It has everything in it. Well, the stamps and dies are from the annual catalog. Now we're going to head into the holiday catalog. And I did not look up my, what do you call it? My page number first. So let's see if I can find it really quick. We are going to work with the Sweetest Time, and the Sweetest Time has a bundle, although I'm only going to use the stamps right now. I'm going to use the dies on Tuesday. So Tuesday is my Teach Me Tuesday, is the name of that Facebook Live. Today, each Thursday, I do simple and stepped up stamping. So this is what I'm featuring today. And super cute, very classic Christmas images. And the reason that I'm not featuring the dies today is these actually need a little bit of instruction. They are not just straightforward like stamp and punch out. You can probably see on here they have some kind of borders and things. And so I want to have the time to really show you how to use those. But I think the stamps will stand alone. And I really, really especially love the three candles. You could use this beyond Christmas, not so much with the greetings, but you could make these candles into other colors and use them for other times of the year. So let's see where we're going to go with that. Let me get my Stampin' Pierce mat. This is what you want to use when you're using photopolymer stamps. And especially, you know, you can get away with using like words a lot of times, but when you have something like this stamp that's going to deliver a lot of ink, you really want to have a cushion under you in order to make sure that the transfer of the ink is really, really good. So there's the stamp set, and I have I'm going to stamp them both at the same time, and then we're going to step them up. I have a 3.5 by 3 3/4 piece of Whisper White, and I'm going to take some Real Red, just a very classic Christmas colors, Real Red and Garden Green. Oh, now I hope I haven't lost you on Facebook, because all of a sudden it has left me on the computer. Ah, I'm still here. Okay. So here's my Real Red ink pad, which is a little bit stiff. Not sure why. Move this out of the way. get this over here. This is a very large stamp, and so I'm going to do it upside down, and this is the way that I like to ink this up so that it doesn't get all over your block this way. You have a much better chance of getting just on the stamp. Now I can see a place here that does not have ink on it, so I'm going to go back over that. And that just really, if you kind of hold your stamp up to the light, you can see where the ink is glistening or where it is not glistening, however the case may be. And you know, with your photopolymer stamps, you do want to hold it down for a couple of seconds before you release it. And it will typically stick to the paper like so, and you just put your finger on the paper to release. Now, I've got a little bit, you know, probably should have cleaned that stamp before I started. And I think what I'm going to do is, even though this is red, I'm going to flip it over. Look at there. I mean, our Whisper White cardstock is really pretty amazing. All of our cardstock has two sides, but to be able to get that second side out of a piece of Whisper White, I think is pretty amazing. And I am going to be putting it down directly on top of the real red I've already done. So let's, you know what? I can tell exactly what that is. That is glitter that's on that stamp, and I'm going to have to step away to grab my packing tape because that is my solution for glitter. I use packing tape a lot in my studio, and it's just simply looks like this. Of course, I use it to ship, you know, close a lot of my envelopes and things that I use for shipping classes and such. But I get big boxes of these at Sam's because they're really cheap that way, and I am like a state distributor for packing tape. But look what's going to happen here. I have little tiny bits of glitter, and voila, that, I don't know if you can see, but all kinds of little bits and pieces have come off there. And I'm actually going to do it one more time because when you have something that's that tiny, sometimes your scrub, the scrub's going to get the ink out really well, but sometimes these little tiny things, glitter will get way down inside there. So let's see. See, I'm still picking up little bits and pieces there. Okay, so that's one of my top tips, is to make sure you have packing tape in your studio. It will really help you get all those little fuzzies, little bits of glitter, really fine bits of dust and such. You don't want that on your stamped image. Okay, let's try this again and see if it looks better. Hopefully, we're going to really like this. So there, now we're going to release much better. It's still got some little funky things going on there, so I think that we may have to do a little bit of extra work on this, and I will show you exactly what we're going to do for the second one. So let's just do it now while we have everything out. I hope, yeah, okay, that's the right way. This is ever so slightly longer this way than this way. It's 3 3/4 by 3 1/2. So what I am going to do is, my stamp is acting a little bit funny, so I'm going to take the fine side of a emery board, and I'm going to lightly sand my stamp. And if there is any kind of residue on there, that will lift it. Now I do need to make sure that I run it through my scrub because you'll have little bits and pieces from that sanding. Okay, here we go. Let's try again. See if we don't get a better. This stamp has been used quite a bit. As you can probably see, all of the red ink stain on it. You know, your photopolymer stamps will stain. Now they won't that staining will not transfer to the paper as long as you've cleaned the stamp. But it's just the nature of photopolymer. Oh, look how much better that is. I don't know if you can see the difference. I've got little tiny bits and pieces here and not here. So that definitely did the trick for me. So that is there. Now I'm going to put my greeting right underneath here on both. And I'm using Garden Green. I don't think that I need this real red ink anymore, so I will go ahead and put it away. The stamp pad also looks like it needs a little bit of re-inking. So let's put the greeting down here. Now this has some really nice greetings on it, and some are more appropriate for using the candy canes, like wishing you the sweetest season. But I love the all is calm, all is bright, and the love and light to you. Those are my favorite, and they go with the candles. And then I'm gonna put on the inside, bright and peaceful wishes to you this Christmas. So let's see here. Now I will say I'm getting back in the groove, having gotten home late Tuesday and worked all day yesterday, kind of getting things back into position for my business and getting unpacked, everything put away. And but I am giving away something with each of my Facebook Lives. I probably have to go back into a couple from November, and because I'm doing it all of November and all of December. And I think that there is a hair on here. Yikes. Well, we're gonna have to just leave it. I am giving away the cards that I make today. So let's close that up. Probably should have checked that before I stamped it. Okay, what's cute is there is this little flame, and I'm actually going to stamp the flame in Bumblebee. Now they do give you 3 of these. There are 3 stamps, but I'm not totally sure why I would use 3. Unless you were wanting to like do different colors of flames, but I'm thinking that I'm not going to use 3 stamps. Doesn't that look cute? I like the Bumblebee is definitely softer than Crushed Curry, which would be the other logical color for the flame, but I do like this. And I confess that I stamped a bunch of these, didn't even put the flame on them, but it really kind of finishes it off. I guess when you don't have the flame, it looks like the candle has not been lit. At least that's what I told myself after I made a whole bunch of them. So let's see. Okay, so we will stamp the greeting later. What I'm gonna do now is move that, and I'm just gonna layer this on a piece of Garden Green. So we are really just doing very, very classic, very simple stamping so far. And the stepping up is going to be largely with embellishments and layers. So let's see how our super simple version looks. And then we will see how our stepped up version looks and see which one you like the best. And I think one of the things that when I started doing this simple and stepped up that's helped me is to remember, first of all, what it was like when I first started stamping, and also to just always remember that you don't have to have a ton of stuff to stamp and really make some awesome cards. So there is my focal piece. Now I'm going to lay that. Oh, I didn't need to stick that down. Rats. Oh, and I've got yellow there. Phooey, phooey. Okay, Candy. Let's see if I can lift that really quick. Ay, ay, ay. Well, that's just going to be the way it is. That's not going to get stepped up the way I intended to step it up. So, okay. I was going to add a punch in there, and we're not going to do that because I glued it down already, which is one of my cardinal rules not to do. I'm glad, Susie, that you like my photopolymer tips. And Jackie is liking, I think, probably my packing tape tips. So I'm going to put this on crumb cake. I think that's a really nice look, very kind of earthy, old-fashioned. I'm not, that's what I'm looking for. I'm not averse to adding a little bit of designer paper. This is my simple, not my stepped up. So I don't want to get too hog wild on this, but I really like, this is 'Tis the Season 6x6 paper stack. And one of the things I like about this is that there are a lot of pieces in here that have shaded spruce, that have just jade, but you also have pieces that have garden green. So these are obviously, I've done a lot of card making with this, and I put all of the offcuts in here so that I could, let me try that one too. Let me get some of these wider ones, I didn't even see those. I was pulling a few of these out when I was gathering supplies for today. So what I could do is, I could add one of these right behind, like so, and just give it a little, just offset it a little bit, give it a little bit more oomph. Now, if I wanted to bring it all the way to the end, let me show you another little trick. So when you have these offcuts, this was obviously for, 5 1/4 inch pieces, I can just do like so, because it's going to be hidden behind my focal piece. So that kind of brings it all the way to the end, which I think I like better. And I'm getting good. Oh, good. Betty, you like the packing tape idea. I'm telling you, it's the bomb. So I have, this is kind of a red diamond pattern. It's really pretty. I don't know if you can see that kind of tone on tone. This is a red and white pattern, really bold, which I think might compete with the, I think it's too much red and white, too much pattern there. And now that looks really cool too, to put the, and I would cut it. So I don't know if we like the green. That's a lot of green to me with the, what do you call it? The mistletoe. Yeah, it does add just a little something. This is kind of this is nice. So far, I like this one and this one best. So let's see what we're going to end up going with here. There's also, I could go with a thin piece, which is here. And that's kind of a nice look too. It's thinner, just has a different look. And okay, so Kay, you're liking the red, and you're liking the red diamond, Jackie. Got one more red one here to choose from, and this one has holly leaves, again, tone on tone. That's kind of nice, but I'm with you guys. I think I'm liking these kind of geometric patterns, because I think it kind of picks up the stripe a little bit. Now let me see, I've got a couple more here. I do have this other tone on tone, mistletoe. Again, I think that's just too much green. And then one more green. And this at least gives you shades of green. But yeah, I think we need to go with red. It needs that little pop of color. So this one is really pretty. This is the very first one I tried, and I like it a lot. The only other one I really like is this one. Let's see. And I think, do we like the thick? Okay, so Eileen, you're liking the red ones too. I think the thick is kind of nice. I think this thin piece is a little bit like maybe not enough. Or do we like that? It kind of doesn't overtake everything else. Okay, so we're going with red. We have decided on the red. I need a little, I need my little eraser to get that little smudge off of there. Grab this. Let's see, while people are weighing in. I will give you guys a sneak peek of something I'm working on, and that is I will be releasing these in the next, I don't know, week or so. Well, probably not week, it'll be less than that. Anyway, this is a toolkit that I'm going to be offering, and in my toolkit I have all of these nice little goodies. And so one of the things I'm going to be including in there is this sand eraser. So this is a great way to take that little smudge of ink. I've got, what is it? It is not Hello Honey. I keep wanting to call it Hello Honey. It is Bumblebee ink, and I got a little smudge right there. Now, the sanding eraser will not, work miracles, but basically it does sand off a little layer of that white cardstock. And so instead of having that smudge there, it takes that off to where you don't look at that and go, oh, look, she got yellow ink over there. So this is one of the things, one of the non-Stampin' Up! Things I'm adding into my toolkit. I'm still working on the label that will say Basic Toolkit here, so I'm working on that with the computer. And then I've got a spritzer with water. I've got a blender pen. I've got a pick a tool. I've got a Wink of Stella, a white chalk marker, your paper snips, your bone folder, and of course your trusty emery board in this nice little case. So, and that's working. I'm working on that. Okay, so we definitely like the thick, and I think I'm just going to go with this one that I started with. And I think I'm going to lay it on the grid paper to help me so that I get it in the right spot. Let's see. Let's go like so. And like so. Is this how I cut it? Let me make sure is that the way I cut it? No, that doesn't match. Oh, it's probably from here and here. Let's see if this works. Ah. I think. Interesting. Doesn't quite meet any direction I put it. So something happened when I cut it. Okay, Susie's liking the sand eraser. Okay. Yay, yay. I like giving you guys little tips that will help you in your stamping, in your crafting, so that the mistakes we make are hidden and not obvious. So let's see if we do here. Let's go here. And I'm going to go 3.5 boxes is what I need. I didn't even need a pencil. I'm just going 3.5 boxes. Make sure I've got this in the right. 3.5 boxes. Voila. Okay. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this and I'm going to pop it up on dimensionals. I mean, super, super simple. You could mass produce these if you were doing these for like all of your neighborhood, all of your, all of your church friends, if you had, all of your office or whatever. If you had a large group of people to make cards for, I mean, you could still do this now. We are guaranteeing delivery of stamping supplies, well, basically Stampin' Up! Orders through December 9th. So if you order by December the 9th, you will get it in time for Christmas, guaranteed. And so that's a great way to, share a gift with someone. And I don't know if you're aware, we do have, what do you call it? Not priority shipping, 2-day shipping, which I actually end up using a fair bit. So if you pay $20 extra, you can have 2-day shipping. And when you're in a hurry for something, it's a nice thing to do. So then I am going to put a little panel inside. Although this is light colored enough that I could just stamp on the inside and write on the inside. It does kind of just give that little extra finish. So I am going to do that, and I am going to use this small greeting that's really pretty. Let me get these out of the way. I've got them going everywhere. My husband loves these little dimensional backings. Ha ha ha. Probably as much as someone in your household loves them. Okay, boy, this is stiff too. It must be because the house is so cold. We don't get cool weather a lot, so when we do, we tend to not turn the heating on and just bundle up instead. Okay, bright and peaceful wishes to you this Christmas. Hopefully I'm stamping it straight because I'm upside down. Pretty good. That looks pretty good. So this is going to go on the inside, and this is super simple, but I think it's really, really nice. Very classic, very traditional, which I'm a sucker for classic and traditional at Christmas. I love all the like purple Christmas trees, but to me, they make me think I'm in a department store. I think they're beautiful when I see them, but in my house, I want things pretty traditional for my own home decor. So there is my super simple stamped ink and paper. There's nothing else on here. There's a little bit of designer paper, but that's it, stamped ink and paper. So we're gonna take this and we're gonna step it up just a wee bit. So let me go ahead and stamp my inside greeting, and then I will move the ink and we will see how we are going to step up this card just a little bit. So let's move that. And this time I am going to layer this on a panel of crumb cake, and then I'm going to layer it onto a piece of real red. So we're going to layer it up, and that's one of the ways that we're going to step it up is with extra layers, adding on another piece of cardstock, and we'll see what we like better. Sometimes simple is better. We shall see. And as is my typical practice, I don't put these together before I kind of like to experiment with you guys online and kind of do this designing together. So now, because I have that, now the red may be too much. Maybe we like it. I don't know. Let's see. Here's that piece of red. I would have to split that in half. Or do we now like the green? That's still too much green. I still like the red. Okay, so what I think I'm gonna do is, that's kind of nice because it has different shades of red. So I can either do this one, or I can do, I do like these grids. Oh, Jeanette, I didn't even know you were here. Let's see, you're weighing in on my process. Love the idea of a simple card for giving to most of your acquaintances, but stepping it up just a bit for family and besties. Exactly. I know that you used to work in a hospital, and so when you're trying to give cards to everybody who's on the staff there, all your coworkers, I mean, it gets to be very time consuming. So I'm liking that. This is the piece of red designer paper. Now we could add a little bit of ribbon, but I think it might be too much. Ooh, now that might work. Let's try that. Okay, I'm getting an idea. Let's put this on first. So let's add our designer series paper here. I think that might be, it needs to be on that end. So my bells are on the back, and I need to have them going width-wise. Yep. Nope, I need to have them going vertically. Okay, so that makes me think when we were in Florida, we were watching Christmas movies with my sister-in-law and her husband, who is really suffering with dementia. God bless them both. It's a rough road. But we were watching, I love classic Christmas movies. We were watching The Bishop's Wife, the original Bishop's Wife with Cary Grant. It's got a great story. Great story. Oh, I think that's a little bit crooked, but it's going to be largely covered up. I think that's where I cut it on that end, and I should have, I shouldn't have put that end. Candy. What have you done here? I wonder I couldn't get them to match. I don't know what I've done with this little piece. Hopefully it won't be, look, all cattywampus when we get it together. Okay, I think it was this way. Oh my gosh, this is a comedy of errors. Okay, see, I'm gone for a few days and I can't think straight when I get home. Okay, so that's going to go there, and this is going to go here. So you see, you can't really see any of that. But I thought maybe just a wee bit of this red ribbon going across there might be a nice touch. Just to give, see how that red and red, but then it has that gold on it. This is part of all the trimming combo pack. So you get red, you get a roll of the red, and you get a roll of the, what do you call it? Old olive. So let's just go ahead and put some seal all the way around this guy because we're going to put this layer down. And let's just lay across here a bit of this real red ribbon from trimming, all the trimming combo pack. And I'm going to, another little tip is you can take your seal and you can run it right over that edge and it really tucks that in. Okay, let's flip this around here. So that is our nice layer, and that's kind of a little tip to show you how even though my piece of designer paper was too short for what I was using here, I could just cut it because that's all going to be covered up anyway, like so. I do like the ribbon on there. I think it looks really nice. Okay, so things are coming together. Let's put, here's my dimensionals. Let's pop this up on dimensionals, and then we'll maybe add a couple more little bits and pieces to step it up just a wee bit more. One there and one there, because I don't want to have my dimensionals hitting where that piece of ribbon is. So I will tell you that I'm getting my Christmas cards in the mail earlier than maybe ever. And having been on vacation 9 days before this, I'm kind of impressing myself. I have been known to send out my Christmas cards on Christmas Eve, which I know sounds ghastly. But, you know, better late than never is one of my life mottos. And, you know, it just kind of is what it is sometimes. And I am really working at doing better on my timekeeping. Been my bugaboo my whole life. But you know, I also think it's never too late. So I'm working on that. And I have to say, I think I'm sending out a record number of cards to, I have customers I'm sending cards to, team members I'm sending cards to, and then there's my personal friends and family I'm sending cards to. So I have a lot of cards to send. And the last time I went to the post office, they didn't have, well, I think they had like one set of Christmas stamps, but I didn't really care for them. So I thought, well, you know, I'll wait. So that now I'm here, and I don't really want to put just forever stamps with the flag on them when they're my Christmas cards. So when I'm done with y'all, I've got to head to the post office and get some pretty Christmas stamps to go with my hand stamped card, because that just seems like it goes better. These are not the scissors I'm supposed to use. Notice I've got a ribbon on here so that I only use these on ribbons because, I don't know, I guess because I grew up sewing and my mother sewed a lot. She sewed almost everything I wore. And the cardinal rule was you did not mix your scissors between paper and fabric. So there I have a little bit, just that little bit of gold that kind of peeks out there, which I do like. And then last but not least, I think we're going to step it up with a little bit of shine with some bling. Now I can use, well, that's doesn't belong there. I can use regular rhinestones, but I thought that I would probably use my trusty red rhinestones, which is what I'm using on my class this month. I think this is going to be the ticket right here. So let's get the red rhinestones going. And where's my pick tool? Here we go. Let's pull this out. And let's see. Smart to get your cards out early. I had a Thanksgiving card take 10 days to get from Washington to San Antonio. I know. It's true. Right now, Susie, I think our mail is slower than ever, and it's going to get worse during the holidays. My theory is that it's because so much mail is being sent right now versus, you know, what we had been doing before COVID, which was not sending nearly as much as we are presently. So I think, well, you know what? I think sometimes less is more and sometimes more is more. This is going to be a more is more. Let's see. Ooh, could do over here. Let's see. I think we're going to do like that. There we go. So that is my stepped up version. Here is my simple version. I think they're both really nice, but I am partial to the stepped up, but I think you can't have too many rhinestones. So I do like the little bit of shine here. And of course the extra layer of red. So we stepped up with an extra layer of cardstock. We stepped up with some ribbon, and we stepped up with some rhinestones. So we have simple and we have stepped up. Kay. Oh, I nailed it again. Very nice cards. Oh, I'm so glad you like them. Thank you so much, Kay. That makes my heart sing when you give me kind words. I will pop these in the mail, and so I'll probably, see, this is where I get in trouble. I leave it until later this evening because I want other people to watch that can't watch live. And then I need to, but I'm going to be working on Christmas cards all the way through this evening, so I will remember to come back and do these. I did want to also show you kind of what gave me the inspiration for this is one of the gifts that went to all of our, ooh, Wink of Stella would be lovely. Let's, you know what? Let's just, Betty suggested Wink of Stella on the flame. So let's just see. You know, that's going to be one of those very subtle things that may not show up on the camera. And it's very subtle. It's very subtle, but it is lovely. Yeah, the other thing about when you use Wink of Stella, it darkens the ink ever so slightly. So we just do that. Very nice. Excellent suggestion, Betty. Thank you. What was I going to tell you? Oh, this was one of our gifts that we did for all of our retreat guests at my fall creative escape. And this was the element that I was going to put on my stepped up version, but I had already stuck it down, so I couldn't. But this is that little punch here. This is that detailed trio, I think it's called. And of course you can do a rounded corner here. You can do a slot here, and then that little kind of flourish corner, which I tend to use quite a bit. It's also really nice for scrapbooking. That little punch right there. So this was kind of my inspiration for today. And this was just a little notepad that we gave all of our retreat guests. We give them 5 handmade gifts throughout the weekend, and just little kind of spoiling gifts. And my thought with this was, we typically have some things to write down during the holidays. And whether it is, you know, you see something and you need to make sure you write it down because you want to send it to somebody, or you run into somebody and think, oh, I didn't have them on my Christmas list, I need to add them. So all kinds of little, you know, you see a recipe and you want to jot it down. So my idea was just kind of all of your notes for the holidays, and we kept it nice and flat so it would go in your handbag. And these are really pretty stable. These tend to not fly off easily. So that was our little gift for our retreat guests. So I think I will pop that in the mail as well. I think I have 2 of these, so I think I'm going to put one of each with the cards for our little giveaways for today. So each giveaway will get a little handmade notepad for the holidays, and then a card as well. So that is it for today. Let me say bid you farewell. You can see my window there. I've got these fabulous new windows. So this is why I wasn't up here a couple weeks ago. And then I just got my computer back. I got my laptop back yesterday. I was so glad. I've been working on a desktop, which I'm not used to, just in the sense that I can't pick it up. When you use a laptop a lot, I just take it with me wherever I go, and not just traveling. I wasn't going to take it with me on vacation, but I can work in the living room and watch. We watch this British game show, my husband and my son and I. It's called Pointless, and if you like British trivia, a lot of it's American. Well, a lot of it's just kind of general knowledge. But anyway, it's a really fun show called Pointless. So if we're going to watch Pointless, and I can do a little bit of stuff on the computer, like edit photos and stuff. If I have my laptop with me, I can't do that when at the desktop because I'm always stuck at the desk. So anyway, I will quit rabbiting on. Thank you so much for tuning in. It's great to be back in the saddle. And again, I'll be giving away the cards from today, and I will be giving away one of each with a simple and a stepped up, along with a little December kind of holiday notepad. Thank you so much for tuning in. Don't forget to sign up for my Cards with a Twist December class if you haven't done that already. The RSVP date on that is December the 8th. And the guarantee ship out date is December the 17th, but I'm going to work really hard to get them out before that so that they would land at your home in your mailbox before Christmas, so that if you need a little bit of kind of Christmas detox, if you need a little stress relief after Christmas, you'll have a class ready to go for you. So again, thank you so much for tuning in. I appreciate you so much. Take care and God bless.